And there we go. Hello. Uh, Hi. Oof. Sorry for being so late today. I ended up switching places so that you don't have to bother hearing that many kids crying and fighting and whatever. So I had to relocate with all my hardware, which took me a little while because uh, kids are in a weird mood nowadays. Um, yeah, that's fine. Define the dollar. That's fine. Um, um, yeah, thanks for tuning in again, even after last week. And big sorry for being so. I don't know what to say. I don't even know how to excuse this. So weird. Um, and in such a bad shape last week. So it's cool to see some of the familiar names tuning in this week nonetheless. So hello back. I'm definitely a whole bit better. Actually ended up getting fever the day after last week's stream. So I guess I caught some of the COVID vibes from my family after all. So been struggling with that the last week, but it's getting better slowly but steadily. How are you? Well, all. How is everyone? Tell me how you feel. Honestly, with the market being what the market is. Yeah, stress does lower your immune system. That is very true. COVID vibes. Yeah. Hang on 1 second. I'll quickly switch off. Switch. No, I seem to be on the right network. Still not good. Not seeming good. Yeah. Oh, Shinpaichi, thanks for pointing this out. I was just checking. Is that any better? Hope that's better. Shape or form. Ooh, what? Oh no. Um, okay, still hiccups. Let me check my connection again. Give me 1 second, please. I'll be right back. Oh, I've got a guest. This is crazy. I've got a guest. So maybe I'll invite him first so that he can do the talking for 1 minute, so long as I check my connection. So it's I don't know. I don't know whether we've ever been together on stream. I don't know. At least if so, then it's been a really long time. So please welcome to stage Ned. Hey, you're not looking
Hello?
very
Hello?
fluid either.
No, I am. Hi, everyone.
Oh,
Hi, everyone. After
well,
2 weeks off, here I
this
am.
is
I'm
weird.
back.
Now I
Can
can
you
hear
hear
you.
me? Can you hear me
I
correctly?
can hear you. I think everyone was able to hear you. It's just for me, it's totally weird
Yeah.
because the music is coming from my aux output, and the your voice is coming from my external microphone. This is odd.
Yes.
Um,
I think it's the first time that we are here on the Tavern together, actually. I think it's the first time. Probably. I mean, we
so
had a stream, like, you, me and Dog together, remember, on The Office? one time when people were
Yes.
asking questions and we were together in Berlin. I think that's the only time. But yeah, guys, how is everything? I came back. I came back yesterday from
Ooh,
vacation after 2 weeks.
ooh,
Portugal
Leonardo,
has to go out of
this
here for you to come back. So
Friday hurt so much in that respect
um,
because both Germany and Portugal went out. This was so bad.
I don't
Hang
like to
on,
talk about sad things. Okay, guys.
let
Uh,
me come back. I just want to check my connection because it
all
might
right,
be
all right,
me. I'll be right back. You talk to the community.
all right, all right. Yeah, I mean, Portugal is out, Germany is out. Sucks. We played better, but it was a good game. At least we fall with our feet. So, how is everyone? How is everyone? I just came to work today. I mean, I'm still getting aware of all the news, reading everything. That's why I haven't yet go to Discord and talk to you guys. Just been in meetings, you know. But yeah, tell me guys, how are you? How has the last 2 weeks been? How many tags you got? I don't know how many tags I got on Discord. I don't have a clue. But I think Nate answered by me. I told Nate to answer every tag, so should be okay. By the way, let me just present myself. Maybe some people here are new. I don't know, since I was away from 2 week for 2 weeks. So my name is Bernardo. I've been in the company for more than 2 years already. I am the head of community at Spielworks. So I manage all our communities, the Shed Monsters, Spielworks, and now Spielworks. Before it was Wombat, Atomic Hub. Now it's Spielworks together, everything together. But yeah, I'm on Discord and Telegram every day. So if you are there, you can always come to me, tag me, and ask me your questions, ask me for help. I'm always available to talk to you. So yeah, that's me. For everyone that doesn't know me, I also stream on Thursdays and Tuesdays. So come to my streams. I always play games. You can play against me and win NFTs. It's pretty fun. But
What's the latest game that you play against the community?
the latest game, like 2 weeks ago, uh, I don't remember what was the last game because we keep switching games. Uh, Maybe Tetris. I think we play Tetris. I mean, people love Tetris. It's like one of the games that anyone can play. That's it has that perk that anyone can play Tetris, good or bad. It doesn't require much explanation, much. But yeah, guys, come to my streams on Thursdays and Tuesdays. I won't stream this week, by the way, because I have a lot of work to do, a lot of information to acquire from the last 2 weeks. So this week I won't be streaming, but I'll come back.
So you're advertising your stream and saying that you're not doing it in the same
Exactly,
sentence.
exactly, guys. Come to my streams next week. Okay, next week. uh, but yeah, I'm back. I'm ready to know everything that has been going on.
So, yeah. So what's going on with the crypto market? If you
Well,
know everything.
I'm not, as you know, the most expert in the Web3 area, but I also have some investments, so I follow on a regular basis the crypto market, the Wombat token, Wasder, and all the ones I have invested. And yeah, I don't know what's going on. I was also expecting, uh, everyone to grow, to be on bull markets, everyone to be growing, but I don't know. It's pretty unexpected, mostly for me at least. Maybe for most experienced people, maybe they have a better clue of what's going on. But I was expecting something else by this point. Maybe you can
And
maybe you can explain to me, Adrian, what's going on
mm,
overall with crypto at the moment
I
in
think
the market.
whoever makes predictions right now in this market, it just gets lucky when they get true. It's like whatever prediction you make, it's yeah, like I mean, your village people is pointing this out, for instance, Mount Gox, right? So it's fascinating. Mount Gox was the one that got hacked. Whoever knows whether it was a real hack or people just stole money or whatever, right? So Mount Gox was one of the first exchanges, got shut down in 2014. And then last week, out of the 140 something thousand Bitcoin that they have still, they basically moved 46,000, 48,000 or something like that, and distributed them to allegedly other entities that are supposed to distribute the Bitcoin to, well, people who have a claim against Mt. Gox, like myself, right? I haven't received my Bitcoin yet, but the market took such a massive drop because of all the FUD regarding the Mt. Gox repayment. And I mean, I think if they had just silently sold the 46,000 Bitcoin, this would have done less to the market than all the rumors and FUD and whatnot. What's going to happen if everyone dumps? Most people receiving those repayments don't even have intentions to dump their Bitcoin, right? I won't. I won't receive much, but I don't even know how much I'll get. But I won't dump, right? But I think that many people are like myself. If they've waited for that money for more than 10 years, they have no intentions to dump that, right? So that was what was going on, but nobody can really predict this. So right now, what's like, I think these news, quote unquote news, are just being used by market participants who have an interest in the price going one direction or another to actually push it that way. If upon such news, right? But nothing actually happened, even, right? So Mt. Gox moved 46,000 Bitcoin, yes, but they weren't distributed anywhere. So
yeah, I wasn't aware of that. I just know that, I mean, I bought a bit of Bitcoin, not even one Bitcoin, but just a bit, just to try it out.
1 Bitcoin is pretty good.
Yes, it's a lot of
you had that.
Yeah, it will be a big investment. But yeah, but I mean, I bought it when it was lower, like 30k or 40k. But people told me, by a couple of friends who actually understand a bit of crypto, and they were like, now it's a bull run. Soon it will grow a lot. Like every coin will grow. Like by July, by August, it will be huge, massive. And I'm not seeing anything. I'm not seeing anything. It goes down, it goes up. So I try to understand the market, but so far it's random. I mean, sometimes it feels like it's random. I cannot predict what's going to happen.
Exactly. So even if you're an expert, or I mean, I've been in Bitcoin obviously since 2013, right? And I don't know. I don't pretend to know. I can just guess, just like everyone else, right? And 50% of the people who say it will go up or it will go down will be right, right? Because the people who say up and it goes up, then somebody's right? But I mean, all these predictions of whatever Bitcoin go into 200K by the end of the year, I don't know, right? Nobody can tell. But historically, at least, and history repeats in Bitcoin, historically, July has been the worst month for Bitcoin all the time, like, right? Yeah. So and then you have these things coming on top, like Germany. And it's funny because Justin Sun apparently offered Germany to buy those Bitcoin, right? Maybe they actually dumped 40K. I don't know. I haven't followed up on that. And then on top of that came the Mt. Gox, and they came out pretty much on the same day and whatever, right? So it's really bad. But yeah, the only thing that I would do is do this, basically just buy Wombat, but it really depends on how much that is.
Yeah. Walk just says, just sell it, I'll buy it. Well, I'm not selling right now. I mean, I'm not giving any financial advices. I don't understand much, but I'm not selling right now. I don't know. But who knows, right? Who knows? Right now, I also don't have a clue.
That's okay. That's why you dollar cost average if you want to invest long term, right? You just dollar cost average. That's that just makes sense from a long term perspective.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, I'll just stick to them. I'll just stick for now. That's my to everything. You know, I'm still waiting for something big to happen.
Buy more Wombat.
Yes.
So let's get to some questions here already. Mazbaz has
Sure.
been asking, is it possible to look at a bit at karma since the buildings were added? Karma is needed much more than before. Maybe 1,000 cap per day is too low now. Is it possible max karma a day to grow with every level players going up, maybe 1% every level? So that's something that we can look at for sure. I just saw that there was somebody who was that Atlas responding to this already. The good thing is that we will have a clan chat starting from next season, so you'll be able to collaborate on the clans better.
That's amazing. That's amazing news. Chat for clans. People have been asking for that for a long time. I was like even thinking in adding a chat on Discord for clans. While you guys didn't finish that update, but seems like I don't need to anymore. So it's a win for me, right?
It's
Less
a win
work
for
on
you. I
Discord.
really hope. I'm not sure whether it's going to be exactly the type of chat that you imagine with kind of that you can have on Discord. It's not, right?
Yeah, of course.
So
So
it's
it's
very
different.
basic, but it's enough to basically
Yep, I
at
haven't
least
seen yet. Yeah, I haven't seen
get to
yet.
know each other's, right?
Yeah.
And exchange, for instance, contact details, which currently is really hard. Oh, look, that's a good one for you by MVW Good Vibes. Question about claiming the channel points and what timing do I need to claim the free season pack if I want to receive the season 19 pack instead of season 18?
Okay.
After the end of the season or after the beginning of the next season?
Good vibes. You need to do that after the new season starts, because you can still, for example, if you stake after the season ends, but before the next season, you can still get rewards. You can still get rewards if you staked unlocked.
I didn't know that.
If you
No, I
stake
mean,
unlocked.
but can you still stake the old season pass after the season ends?
I think so, but I
Possible,
haven't tried it. I think
but you
so.
also still have
When
access to
people
the well as
stake,
well.
they get rewards. They get rewards when they stake.
You mean
Before
the
the
tokens?
season starts. Yes, exactly. But
Okay.
I'm not sure if they can stake the season pass. That I'm not sure. But so that's why I always tell people to, if they want the pass from season 19, they need to request it after the new season starts. But don't worry, because I send it right when the season starts. I'm aware, so I'm here on the first and second day of the season, ready to send you the pack.
So at least the redemption is fast.
Yeah, it's fast.
Your village people is. I saw that earlier. Sorry for not answering right away. Have you considered doing something on Ton, like the open network, formerly known as Telegram Open Network? Because a lot of attention and funding is there, and most people feel that GameFi is the future. That the GameFi future is there. Also, Ton has tons, pun intended, I guess, of user base that can easily be reached on Telegram.
It's a
Yes.
puzzle. The question is like a puzzle. You need to figure it out. Yeah.
We're definitely looking into this. We've been looking into that, like obviously not coin and then hamster combat and whatever's been going on for a couple of weeks, bunch of weeks now. And we have something planned, and yeah, we'll be able to let you know I hope later this week, together with all the other updates that we're providing. So that should become part of the roadmap that we're building together. But yeah, totally relevant. And it's one of the few places where you're saying, your village people, one of the few places where people are still enthusiastic and positive about GameFi or Web3 gaming or whatever you call it. It's cool. Cap top. Come on. I was impressed because you mentioned, I think you mentioned earlier that you're rooting with England. I was impressed. It was the first good penalty shootout that I've ever seen by the English team, ever. Right. So I was impressed by that. I didn't think that they could win. So congrats. And it's actually, I mean, the semifinals are going to be quite interesting, right? With Spain playing France and England playing the Netherlands. So awesome lineup. I would have preferred to see Germany play Portugal in the semifinal
Yes.
rather than Spain versus France. It was tough, but
I mean, now I'm
we
rooting
had the
for
entire weekend to recover from that, right? No.
Yes, it was hard, but now I'm rooting for Spain. I mean, they are nuestros hermanos, you know.
Oh.
So if Portugal doesn't win, I mean, if you are upon the World Cup, it's probably Brazil. You know, if it's not Brazil, it's Spain. Normally, that's how we do it. You know, in Portugal, it's Brazil and then Spain. So now I hope Spain wins. I think Spain is playing the best football. So I think they are so far they are the most deserving team to win. I know that you don't
close.
want them.
I think Germany would have won in the penalties. So it was this close with Marino being in the right place at the right time.
Maybe. But by the way, Cap Top, don't start trash talking others teams because the karma exists. England is still going to play the semifinals. If you
Masbeth
lose,
says karma is capped. Again, pun intended with karma, right?
yes.
Yeah, so long as France doesn't win, everything's good.
Yeah, they won us. I also don't want them to win again.
Will you be introducing new stamina reduction gear? We haven't planned that. So I think the one gear that we didn't have yet is that we already made is the miners, right? But we haven't planned stamina reduction gear. We can obviously. I would actually do, if that's interesting, right? I would actually prefer doing a vote on this.
It's an hot topic. It's a very hot topic. After the last drop, we need to be careful. I don't know what's the opinion right now from the community. Maybe a vote would be good on this for us to really understand what they want. But I just know it's a pretty hot topic.
It's good.
By the way, since I'm here with lots of active community members, I have to ask you: Do we already have the overlord? Did someone already minted the golden key or not? Anyone on the community know? I mean, they know. If someone has minted, they know for sure. No, not heard that. Because this time we launched the blend like in the middle of the season, right? So people had a lot of time to mint the golden key. Yes, minted says good vibes. Ooh, tell me who minted it. I'm very interested to know. Well, let's continue. Someone will probably eventually say who did mint the golden key.
Beantown Bob, stamina reduction would stimulate the community. Okay, I think it could. Oh no. I need to switch off the air. because it creates too much of a noise in my microphone, I believe. That's a very interesting claim here, that stamina reduction would stimulate the community. I'm obviously all for that. So yeah, I would love to do a vote on this and see whether that's actually helpful, and we can totally get this created. Right.
Yeah, agree.
So, oh yeah.
So you have good vibes saying that he thinks Janice has it again. I will totally believe that. I will totally believe. Janice is on fire. On the past few seasons, Janice just got the key, just bought the key from someone who got it. So Janice is really trying to surpass Webby as number one on the M. I actually don't know this season. Let me just check. We'll quickly check how are the points. Is Janice catching up Webby already, or not yet? Or is Webby still the number one by far? Let me check it.
You should check.
Because I know Janice is working hard. Janice is working hard.
It's
season leaderboard. Webby. Wow, how many points is this? 151 millions against 100 to 126 million. Well, they are by far the two biggest ones. Thank you, Bintown. Well, I actually don't know if she's catching him season by season or not. If she's getting far or further or closer. But it would be interesting actually to see that.
Yeah, overall, I think it's a bit of a tighter race this season than it was the previous seasons.
I think so too. I think Janice is getting closer. Not sure, but it will be interesting to see Webby going number 2 someday. Nothing against you, Webby, but I like some rivalry. You know.
So Webby is still using. I've just looked it up. Webby is still using Womzarts as their sidekicks.
Womzart. Those are great. There was a time where they were there was none on the market selling.
Yeah, because I had just looked at the keys, and I just saw that Janice has 3 keys in her possession, and that these haven't been transferred yet. I'm like, I started sweating because I didn't know where they're coming from. So I'm like, what did we do wrong that Janice has 3 keys, but then they just need to be transferred? So when you ask Janice for the suggestions, please ask her, Bernardo, to transfer them to Wombat Redeem so that everyone can see that these are not free floating keys. I mean, there's a lot of scrutiny on the keys, right? So I don't think that this would go wrong, really. But it's just a matter of transparency and fairness that these 3 keys don't belong to Janice anymore. They belong to Wombat Redeem.
Yeah, I'm going to talk with her. You know, there's something really interesting. I don't know if you know, but Janekos, the one who was talking now, he, by luck, was the one who minted the last 2 keys. Randomly, Janekos got the last 2 keys. Do you know what are the chances of that happening? So many people blending and trying, and Janekos was the one who got the last 2, and then he sold both of them to Janice. But it's amazing the percentage of that happening.
Yeah, that's like the one time when you said if you win the Grubfish, you will distribute prizes to the top 10 players or to everyone, and you ended up winning. There's just total coincidence, right?
Yes.
People just get lucky. I got super lucky, or first I didn't, right? So I think I bought about 20 or something, or 30 sidekicks packs, and I opened them, and I got 2 ends, I believe. out of 30 packs, and I'm like, oh my god, what a waste. Then I bought another 8. I think I just bought another 8 packs and opened them and got 4 ends out of these 8 packs, and I'm like, okay, it's like it's just totally random. So
Yeah, you never know
you never
when
know.
it's going to happen. You know, you can just buy one pack and get it. Like the chances of Janekos getting 2 times in a row is like way lower than me getting the win on the grubfish, right? Because so many people tried it to get the key, so it's totally just incredible. Janekos, you should play on the lottery, man. You should do it.
MBO is asking, in the future, could there be some sort of tiered leaderboards or competition split by VIP levels? Huh. Gotta think about this. So what would that do? So you would kind of discourage large players. So I don't know. Um, I'm not
Okay,
sure. Like I think it would be a little bit weird because I don't think that this is what you want. Like at first glance, that you would separate people by their VIP level, because the VIP level um, doesn't really mean um, well that you're a strong player, right? But at the same time, it might be fun if we basically just kind of, I don't know, added a badge or something like that we could mint.
yeah, something like
So
that. Some specific, some new NFT, some limited edition NFT. Yeah, I mean, also because some people just stake for the wombat rewards, and that stake also appears upon the Gen Master, you know. So not always when you are, for example, VIP 6, you want to actually get that for the Gen Master. You might want it for the wombat rewards, for example, you know. So, but yeah, I mean, it could be cool, you know, with the badge or something like that. I I can see it.
let me just. I'll make a note here.
Or at least, for example, for VIP up above VIP 5, you know, one for 5 and one for 6, 7, for example, something like that. I don't know. Also to incentivize people to stake a bit more.
Yeah, so as an additional fun competition, so I wouldn't kind of make this kind of a main thing, right? Because I think that the metrics would be off. But yeah, I think that makes sense. So CapTop is asking, equipment, gear, and mining power NFTs are an all-time low price. Is there something you could do about this, like reduce the supply or possibly raise price of an element NFT in the shop? I know it's just a small thing, but might help a bit with prices. We will definitely have a look at the balancing, because with the token price being down so much, I think it's normal that people would now kind of discount the value of NFTs and equipment, right? Because there isn't as much to be earned from in dollar wise, right? So if you talk about dollar prices, so that, yeah, I think that's an immediate kind of consequence, and that's not good. Obviously, that's not what we want. So we will have to look at balancing prices also for the season pass, for instance, right? Because the argument why we lowered the price early this year was in terms of number of wombat, was that the token price was up so much and now it's down so much. So now we would actually have to increase it again, right? So that there is more of a wombat token demand for season passes, for instance. So that's definitely something that we need to spend a lot of time on, thinking kind of how we can improve the economy right here, because yeah, it's with both the wax and the wombat price being down so much. I mean, Wax hit below 3 cents last week as well. This just hurts so much, right?
Yeah. I mean, for the good and for the bad, our token has such a big effect on our ecosystem, right? We have so many different parts on the ecosystem that work together with the token, you know. So it's for good and for the bad. For the good, it's amazing. But when token is lower, for example, it affects so much, you know. It's amazing what we have built here, right? Such a big ecosystem, right?
It's amazing when the price goes up. It's not so amazing when the price goes down.
Yeah. It affects so many things. It's incredible what has been built over the last few years.
Yeah, if at least right, if but it all is connected, right? It's also connected to the market sentiment overall and so on. But if, for instance, trading volumes in the wax space were good, right, we would also be burning a lot of tokens because we're buying them back at market price, right? So that's also something that's good. It's just that also the trading volumes overall are down because the overall interest in NFTs, let's say on Wax or whatever, is also not so great, right? So there's a lot of factors that go into that, but of course I won't say that our token price is not to blame. It is, as you said, Bernard, the biggest. It has the biggest impact on these prices. So we are working on that on all fronts. But this specifically, I think. And I think that goes with one like Justin's question. What's up with the fragments, for instance, right? So for the items, at least on the floor price, right? We've reintroduced the recycle blends, or one recycling blend, where you can. A Funkin' Crypto would love that, right? Recycling, um, um, but we reintroduced the recycling thing for now, right? With the Moss Bombation, so you can basically blend 10 items, and that has helped with the floor prices. 10 items plus, I believe 10 Wombat tokens. So that has helped with the floor prices for the cheapest items, but it hasn't helped with the kind of average price or pack prices and so on. And there has been this ongoing discussion also last week regarding whether we should go back to the old pack system, right? Moving away from the boxes. And this is something that I would like to have a deeper discussion about rather sooner than later, because the reasons I think for why we changed that, they're still valid, but I do totally agree that the execution is not, or it didn't solve the problems that we wanted to solve, and it didn't have the positive effect that we had hoped for. So I've been thinking a lot about the packs versus boxes thing. And I don't have an answer for that yet, but that's where I think discussing with a community and the most active players and the VIPs and everyone would actually help.
Yeah, so
and
it's
that
not
would go
related
with
to the fragments, right? It's just related to packs versus boxes.
It
Not
is
the
related to the
fragments itself.
fragments, because the fragments we introduced as kind of a lower tier um, reward that you can blend into something,
Yeah.
right? But if you look at the utilization of fragments and the prices and the overall sentiment, I guess, around fragments, I mean, that directly ties into the boxes discussion, right?
I see. So they want to receive the boxes on the well and the chest instead of the fragments, right? Overall, mainly on the chest,
No,
right?
I think there's multiple issues here. One is that I think nobody really likes the fragments.
I do. I actually do. Actually enjoy like
Okay,
getting them
yeah,
and
you don't.
blending them. But yeah, probably just me. But I actually enjoy them.
Sorry, yeah, but you don't count.
It's satisfying to blend them into a pack. Yeah, but keep going. Yeah.
So there's obviously multiple ways of tackling the fragments themselves. Okay, but then there's the overall question around the boxes, and I think that in the end, many people just appreciated the gold packs, and in a way, I still like them as well. Kind of in a weird way, I hold on to my gold packs, my ETA and Zeta and so on gold packs, um, and
I also have
they.
those. Yeah.
I don't know why I feel like that, but they kind of just still feel like they made more sense than the expert packs that we have now, although they're very similar. It's just that
Right.
and I haven't analyzed that deeply. It's just a gut feeling that the the gold packs just felt better than expert packs, although they were back in the day when we introduced them, they were kind of rushed and we didn't have any experience, and now we had a lot of kind of hindsight and a lot more information, and but still we didn't actually come up with something that's better. Or maybe it's not the packs. Maybe the expert packs are still fine, but people don't like the boxes in between, right? So I don't know.
Yeah. I also, yeah, we need to have a deeper analysis on that. Yeah. Yeah,
Look,
Webby.
look at this, Bernardo.
One of the things.
Forest Lair really doesn't like the.
One of the worst things for worst things. Come on, it's not one of the worst things. It might be bad, but not worse. I mean, it's fun to blend them, right? You have just a bunch of pieces, and then you have something you can open. It's satisfying at least, right?
Your village people, Arctic, Cap Top. I mean, obviously, getting a standard pack every day was better than having fragments. Yes, that's
Okay.
true. The gold packs had more quality than the boxes. And Loved Him Loar says, "Make fragments great again." One Leg Justin has been stockpiling fragments.
Okay, okay, I can see. Of course I prefer to get a pack.
Deathlord saying fragments are the worst. Period.
Guys, what about if you think outside of the value? You know, just a fun. You know, just a fun. Just blending a pack. You know, just blending pieces, wordless pieces into a pack. You know, that's fun. Don't think about the value. You know, don't think about about the value of having a pack. But yeah, okay,
You're
I can see what you mean. It's better to get a pack than several pieces. Yeah. But I mean, probably the chances of getting pieces is higher than getting a pack before, right? On the chest, on the daily chest.
overall yes. For individual people, no.
Probably not high enough, right? To make it worth instead of having a pack. Probably. I don't know. I don't know the odds, to be honest. But yeah, okay. I see people don't. They really prefer the packs. Well, it's something we need to discuss with Pedro, right? And
Deathlord is very explicit about this. If I must choose
okay.
between being dragged naked through glass and fragments, then let's get dragging my ass. Okay.
All right. I see. I see. We need to discuss it, I guess, and see what the best option for the future.
So now follow-up question. Fragments versus boxes. What's the bigger, more pressing issue?
Wow.
Because um I see like Yannicka's issue here: CPU and free transactions burned by boxes. People don't have money for CPU. I mean, we shouldn't be wasteful with that just because, right? The intention was not to spend an extra layer on or to introduce an extra layer in order for people to spend more CPU, but to have a balancing mechanism in between. But yeah, like I said, it's not that that this has worked out the way we've we've intended. So no hard feelings here on whether or not fragments which should be a higher priority than boxes just yet. So your village people was suggesting, have you considered using world ID verification to combat bots? No, we haven't. To me personally, I'm not entirely sure if that's enough of a thing just yet. Funnily, I think I saw the WorldCoin shop, whatever, in Coimbra a while ago, in a mall. But so
Yeah,
they
but
had one of the first ones in Europe in Berlin, so I knew where that was before I moved out. But I'm not sure whether that's enough of whether that has enough widespread adoption just yet.
sorry, the chat is just. I mean, who has the camera? Who has the camera already? One has the rope, the other has the glass. Just the camera missing to record it.
No, I get this. Oh, that was referring to Deathlord, right?
Yes, they are starting the what the project. I mean, the guy is like, will you
okay,
change if I do it?
if you do that right now, we'll raid you.
Yes, do it on camera, and we're ready right now. That's funny.
So that enough people see this. So oversupply, right? Over minting. That was the question here, or the comment here, by both Captop and I think somebody else mentioned this as well. So that again was, we had this whole rebalancing of the odds of getting packs or boxes in this case, which was supposed to reduce the supply, right? But now, of course, with the lack of new sets, because before, right? Some of you remember probably back in the day we would do a new set every season. Oh my goodness, if I remember that, how much yeah, let's just say it, how much hassle that was to get out a new set every season. That basically took half of the team's time every season, right?
Yeah.
But so that obviously limited the amount of minted NFTs. But I'm wondering, so there's kind of this this thin line in between, right? This balance between handing out enough NFTs so that it's worth playing, so that you get a nice surprise every day or every other day, right? In your chest, versus not increasing the supply too much, right? Because there isn't maybe too enough demand. And I think that is where the problem mostly is in the demand rather than in the supply, because there's a lot of the players who have been playing the game for a long time. They have they're stocked up on their equipment. So especially with the newer sets that we balance differently, there is very little to be gained in terms of additional boost. So the big players don't have incentives to invest in more equipment, right? New equipment. So I'm wondering what we can do about this. Obviously, it's not a great idea to keep just increasing the power of new equipment, right? We could do that. We could basically just hand out a new set of equipment every once in a while that is like totally OP, and so everyone needs to have it in order to be competitive, and that would totally drive demand for that set. But I'm not sure that's the way to go, because I think this would piss off everyone.
Yes,
So
talking
what's your thoughts on this, Matt?
talking on the feedback I've seen on the community, when we were like launching a set every week, like the professor, then the banker, like one set every season, and always doing drops, I think people were getting a bit upset because they felt like we just wanted them to buy non-stop, and they couldn't follow up. They couldn't buy fast enough to keep up with all the drops. So although for the big players it's good that we do new drops because they need new equipment, for the most players, for the most community, they cannot buy buy gear fast enough, to follow with our drops. So most of the community probably prefers us to do less drops and more interesting drops.
But I don't necessarily think it's about the drops, because I mean the Cook's drop essentially has been pretty much in like, or had almost no effect.
On the attribute, maybe on the attributes of the gear.
But what I'm talking about is secondary prices, right? And the overall kind of long-term demand. Um, uh, yeah. So I'm wondering, because on one hand, you don't want to devalue the old, strong, expensive gear, which is like really, really expensive, right? And some people have invested in that, have spent a lot of money to acquire that. Let's put it that way, right? So you don't want to devalue that by basically introducing something that's a lot stronger, that's new, right? Because that is something that we've always been warned about. Don't make the new stuff too strong, because what will we do with our old things, right?
Yeah.
And
Yeah,
so
it's
that's
unfair.
what.
It's unfair for the people that bought it before, right? If you something really
Well,
strong.
well. You could argue that, and that's what your village people is suggesting. For instance, you could argue that they've had their effect for it
Okay.
Already, kind of for multiple seasons, right? So you could make it wear off or something like that, right?
The problem is that they are NFTs. The cool thing of having NFTs instead of the regular Web2 items that you can sell them. But if no one wants them later, they cannot really sell them on a good price, right?
Yes, but again, you could argue that you've had your value for the purchase,
So it's
right?
like,
Because
okay, I spent
you've
it
played with
now.
it, you've played with
Yeah.
it for 10 seasons or 12 seasons or 19 seasons or whatever, or 18 now. Uh, so that you got your value back, right? But at some point it might break or wear off or whatever, right? I do see this argument. It's just that I'm making the decision of whom to piss off.
What about what if we will give like extra boosts, for example, for that gear, but for the other league, the new players league, So, for example, you have the new sets more powerful for the experienced players, and for the newer players, you will give a couple of boosts for that gear, so they could sell it to those players, something like this. Give it some value, some different value to the old gear. I don't know, just an idea, so that it just stops being wordless in the future.
Look, it's so cool, these discussions, because there's such a wide variety. I mean, unlike the fragments where you were the only one saying they're cool, right? Everybody else was agreeing that they're not. But here, there's a lot of discussion around this, and I really like the discussion, right? So like, your village people says, like every other real life equipment, they lose value over time, right? And imagine wearing. I do wear my. I mean, maybe not straight because I do wash, but I do tend to.
Thank you for clarifying that, Adrian.
Um, I do wear things for a long time until they break apart, right?
Yeah.
So yes, of course they lose value, and that's something that, yeah, I mean, I'm having a little bit of a hard time. So that would definitely have to be a vote, right? I'm having a little bit of a hard time imposing kind of what Robot has been suggesting, repair costs, right? So that they wear down, but you can repair them, right? So I think that's a brilliant idea, generally, right? I really, really like that idea. That if you use it, let's say for each run that you do with it, or every day that you've used it, or every season that you've used it, whatever, it wears down a little bit, and then you can repair it with something, right? And the repair cost might depend on its rarity and its level, right? And I think that's really, really cool. It's just that imposing that on items that have been around for 2 years, right? I think that is a little bit hard, but I really, really like the idea, because that would
And
that has the potential of essentially keeping the economy afloat, right? Because that obviously could repairing could have a cost in wombat tokens and material or whatever, right? And the more you gain from wearing that equipment, the more the because it's very powerful, the more you would have to pay in order to repair it. And at the same time, this could be a mutable attribute on every single equipment, right? So you could see it on a marketplace that if you buy something, if it's a level 5 mythic or level 6 mythic, right, and it has 0% durability, you would have to repair it fully, right? It might be worth much less than one that is at 100% durability. So I really like that idea, and we had some thoughts about this. And making this a mutable attribute is obviously totally possible. It's just that I don't know how much that would be liked by people, but I'm super happy to prepare a proposal together with Pedro and put that up for a vote
vote,
and
right?
see what the community says. Yeah, and then probably the dynamic that Webby has been mentioning with the token holders and so on, big token holders being maybe against this and so on, might come into play. But at least it would be a fair vote, or we would gain some transparency on this. What do you think?
I mean, I think the idea itself is pretty interesting. Maybe it needs some touches, some changes, because you can do a voting, right? And probably the big players, like the big VIPs, will vote and they enjoy the idea. But smaller players that are like low VIPs and their vote doesn't have much percentage in the end, they might not be very interested in that, because they might not want to spend that money to repair them, and then they will keep lose their value.
Yeah, but
You know,
yeah,
you know
but
what I
that
mean?
maybe repairing low level gear is very, very cheap, or free,
Right.
or only costs material and no
Yeah, but
tokens.
depends on the rarity, right? Most
Yeah, it
bigger
depends on the
rarity.
rarity and the level, right? So a level 6 mythic is, let's say, let's just throw out numbers, right? But for comparison, would be 100 wombat tokens to repair 1% in durability, right? And but a level 1 common, it would basically cost 0.01 wombat to
or
repair
free
1% of durability, or
free
free, right?
Yeah, yeah,
Um,
because if you have a bit an expensive gear, you probably also have the means to repair it. If you have
Exactly, because
yeah,
you also get a higher reward at the end of the season, right?
yeah, yeah,
And the other thing the other thing that we could do is something that Mbio is suggesting here. You could maybe you could then recycle old gear that is worn down to basically create or gain some um, repair kit, right? That you can repair items with, and yeah, I think that's a great discussion to be had because there's a
yeah,
lot of ideas that you can have about this, right? There you can have like I said, a repair kit NFT that you can utilize that can also be in the Well of Wealth or in chests or whatever, right?
yeah. But you see on chat that you have very different opinions around this. For example, Toritmo, who is a very active member on Discord, in terms of giving ideas, is totally against. Probably, yeah, because he thinks people won't pay it, right? Probably that. So I think it will be a discussion that will have very different opinions. My only fear, as I told you, is that if the bigger VIPs like it, their expression on voting is way higher. So maybe if there could be a way to make a voting for like everyone that has at least 10, I don't know, like a certain number of points on the Gen Master, instead of just making for the VIPs, maybe I think that a voting like this, like so important voting like this, should be available for more people, maybe, not just only for the VIPs, just an idea. I don't know, because the
Well,
non-VIPs might.
I mean, so the theory behind, and I think I've been saying that on another occasion already, but in theory, anyone holding tokens, if they want their tokens to have long-term value, should be making kind of long-term oriented decisions, right, in voting. So they should be actually be saying, okay, not what is best for myself, but what's best for the community and therefore the economy, right, at large, so that the stake that I have staked is becomes more valuable over time, right? So ideally, that's not how it works in a microcosm, right? Because a lot of people would basically optimize for their own gain here, but and yeah, Flute Six is obviously pointing this out. I agree. We should have had this from the start, right? But I think that's I think it's still a valid debate.
Yes, it just depends on how we do it. It needs to be in a way that people are comfortable with, and like not a greedy way. For a way that people don't think that we are being greedy doing that. That's the most important thing. That the values are actually fair for everyone. That would make the game more interesting in a way, right? People will have more decisions to make, right? Should I repair it now? Should I repair it next season? Should I do it? Should I? I think it will make make it make the ecosystem very interesting.
Wow, I know that there's still a bunch of there's been a lot of discussion here. The chat is really on fire, so it's hard to follow this because it's very in depth. But so I just pulling out some and I'm starring some others. The implementation of repairs will be put in depending on rarity. The gear should be degraded based on how much wombat and NFTs found. Also, the items found will be based on the gear rarity. So common finds, common only, and rare finds rare, etc. That way, also, we don't need to worry about different degrading levels, as if common found rare would degrade more, or maybe it should have happened. Needs votes. I think I get the twist one like Justin, where you say if it gains you little, it should degrade little, and if it gains you much, it would be okay to degrade faster.
Yes. Or if it's more, if it's like mythic or legendary, it should degrade on slower speed than the other ones. Maybe. Mm. That will be less expensive for everyone. And still make a contribution to the ecosystem.
So there's a few people, one like Justin and some others have suggested, okay, just make better gear, right? Forest Layer has been saying something similar, right? Don't make it so useless. I mean, I get why or how, for instance, Cooks was not great, right? We tried something in making them equal, and that so we didn't want to make them OP. Okay, I totally take that. That won't happen again. But at the same time, yeah, we didn't want to. I think it's the same argument as with the repair costs, right? We didn't want to devalue old gear that was existing by creating gear that's new, that's accessible to anyone, and that should make it cheaper in general because it's available, right? That is a lot better than old gear, right? This would feel unfair, right? So famous old Black Lotus example from Magic the Gathering, right? If you take a Black Lotus, then this was very powerful, and that's why it was worth a lot, or it's still worth a lot, and it was banned and so on from a lot of formats so that people couldn't actually play it because it was OP, right? But nobody would actually come or get the idea to create a like something that's stronger than a Black Lotus now, right? Because it was like that would devalue all Black Lotuses from back in the day, right?
Yeah.
So I'm not sure whether that's something that we want to do.
I mean, in my opinion, I think we should just launch like medium power sets now and then with more regularity, or just do like really strong sets with a bigger distance from each other. Because keep launching really strong sets, I think is not the best idea for the ecosystem. Like making people have to keep buying everything because they are really strong. It's not the best for a lot of players that cannot keep up with the gear. So,
but how about this? We make new gear that degrades, and the old one doesn't degrade. But we make new gear that's stronger than the old gear, but it actually degrades. Only the new gear degrades, not the old one. But in return, it's stronger than the old gear. That is maybe a compromise.
okay. Yeah, that's another way to do it. Maybe better. Maybe it might be better like that than to change the old gear.
Add recycle equipment challenge in Wombat app weekly challenges just for use collections. Recycle. Yeah, that makes sense. Okay, I'll go because the chat activity has cooled off a little bit. I'll go back to some of the questions that I've favored. Sorry if they're now a little bit older. 18 minutes. Sorry, Robot. I think the new box fragment system is not a problem, but the new sets took too long and boost is too weak. If it would boost a bit more, not as much as old equipment, even long-term players might switch a slot and or go for pants and bracelets. Okay. Thanks for this. Then there was another question by Rob Odd. Will the power bar increase to 1K Wombat again? I suppose if that's what we want to do, then we should announce it very, very soon so that everyone can buy their power bars in advance. That's definitely something that we want to do because it's very cheap as it is right now, obviously with the token price. So it's just that we will announce that officially before we actually do it, right? So that everyone's aware. So then there was, hang on, I'll go back to literally I have autism. Is there any update on the promise drop for OG badge holding? It's been a long time since anything was done for the OGs. You're right. There is, right now, we haven't been prioritizing this. I do agree that it's been a long time, but I think, yeah, we'll make that part of the discussion when Pedro is back and how we can combine with that with the new things that are about to come. Daniel Angel, it's not a question, but enhance the equipment. That was a suggestion. Enhance the equipment, cost Wombat tokens to enhance. I know that this sounds like something different. To me, it's kind of from how it acts is kind of similar. But it's it's
the only difference is that on the other way, you are making the equipment worse. So they need to pay to make it better. Like this, it's more like an option, right? It's not getting worse. You know, you have an option to just make it better. If not, just keep it as it is. You know, so maybe this approach might be worse, but better for the players. It's not so cool, in my opinion. It's not so cool.
I mean, this is okay. But the effect is that without the enhancements, you wouldn't have a chance. But okay, it's a totally valid option, of course. Next up. So Las Vegas Ape, what's the plan for the Wombat token? We keep hearing about the so-called plan, but Wombat keeps dropping. Curious why said plan has been activated or not activated. I think you wrote not activated, right? So we have been working on a lot of changes, right, for the Wombat token. So there's a light paper for the new things, for the new direction coming out this week, Thursday, 11th, right? So that's what we've been working on. That's also about consolidating the business, having a new direction, consolidating tokens. There's a lot in there. So this also took a while to basically be created, right? And whatever we do, I know that it's you want to see actions on kind of now the price dropped, we do something about it, and we would like to have the recipes to basically just counteract any price drop or whatever, right? But that's not always possible, and it's also not necessarily kind of what works in the long term. So we're trying to build something that will work long term, but it will also have an effect on the overall sentiment around the tokens. So we have been working on that plan, right? And we understand that Wombat still has been dropping. The overall market, I mean, I don't want to blame it all on the market. Obviously, we have a lot of issues that we need to solve ourselves, right? And that's what I think we're working on and delivering we're getting better at delivering on this, right? I'm not saying we're good, but so I'm not aiming to say, hey, we're doing amazing things and it's unfair or whatever. That's not what I'm saying, right? What I'm saying is that we're doing our best to build it so that it's also going to be sustainable long term, and it's not just a short term flare, right? So basically, for instance, what we saw 2 weeks ago when we had, I think it was 2 weeks ago or 3 weeks ago, when we had the Woofy airdrop, right? We saw that the price went up 20% on one day, right? And then it went down 20% the 2 days after. So that's not what we want, right? So for the next airdrop, we're having a slightly different scheme, and there is going to be a next airdrop. There is going to be next airdrops, right? But we're trying to make it so that there's value in long-term holding. We could have just basically launched another airdrop that basically has its snapshot today, so that price goes up by 20% today or whatever. But that's not what we're like. Yeah, from a short-term perspective, that's not what we want to do, right? And as much as we like, I've been saying that as well, and I will keep saying that we ourselves, Bernardo, but also myself, and obviously us as a company, we have a strong interest in the token, Wombat token, WAS token, tokens to be healthy, right? As healthy as possible. So we are aligned on this. We're totally aligned, and we're not doing we're like there whatever actions and even non-actions that we do is not for a lack of, hey, we don't care, or for a lack of care, right? It's for lack of, or for the main reasons are, okay, what is it that we think will also work long term, mid and long term, not just short term, right? So there will be a few new things, a few surprises this week when it comes to what it is, right? We showed the video last week. There was a little bit of teasers on what it is and what we're going to be building, what will happen with the tokens, and so on. And now, please allow us the few more days to get there and to like publish the light paper. So there's going to be more information about this, but also it is a long-term thing, a long-term effort, and we've had so many suggestions also, right? And we're like skimming through them and seeing, for instance, okay, we will bring back a farm, an LP farm, right? Liquidity farm on Taco or on Alcor, on both. But at the same time, there's suggestions to, okay, how do we not put out so many tokens, right? So we're trying to balance all these suggestions also from the community, so that if we create a farm, it's not a farm that basically hands out so many Wombat tokens again, and so on, right? So there's a huge, because the feedback that we've been getting was awesome, right? There's so much support that we're getting by all of you, and I mean, obviously, Las Vegas Ape. I know you're not always happy with what I bring up and what we're saying and what I say, but you're still here, and I appreciate that. I really appreciate that, and I really appreciate that you're speaking up and that you're always poking and saying, okay, no, this is really bad, and where is this, and why is it not happening, and so on. And I appreciate getting these reminders and getting poked, and that I know that you're not indifferent, right? And that's good to know, right? But at the same time, not everyone can be turned around on one day. So we have a large team that's working on all of this, and we're all pulling in the same direction, and we're really doing our best to get this fixed, right? And I think it will be.
Yeah, I mean, if I can add just a couple of things on the community side also. So as Adrian said, this is a plan. This has been working on for a while already. It takes time. It's normal that it takes time. We had the community merge like 1 month ago. It was a big step already, merging everyone into the same community. Every time there are decisions about this plan that we are announcing piece by piece, I always introduce the vision from the community. So our goal is to have something for the long term, but also, of course, something that the community enjoys. Because without the community, we are nothing. If you guys, we can have a plan, long-term plan. But if you guys don't like it, if you don't feel included, if you don't feel like you are part of it, it won't work. So we have just been working on something for a while, to combine everything, something that works for the company, something that also works for the community. So we just ask you for a bit more patience. We are going to announce the next step this week, the white paper, and just a bit more patience, and we will reveal every step of what's coming. Else, what else do we have? Did Adrian crashed or? Oh, I think I didn't. Yeah, I didn't crashed. I was like, he's so still. I was like, Adrian is so still. Yeah, he crashed. Let's give him a bit of time to come back. Let's see. What else do we have here? More questions. Questions that I can answer. Oh, he's back. You are back, Adrian.
I'm back. Oh, so sorry. I suddenly lost my connection entirely, and I think that killed the stream, didn't it?
No, the stream. I mean, the stream was fine. The stream was fine.
Because I'm
I was
seeing a
just
lot.
giving my 2 cents. I thought that you were so, so fired up by my,
I had to leave.
that you had to take a moment to compose yourself, But you are back. You are back.
The problem is that now I don't see all the previous comments anymore, so I will have to go over to Twitch.
I don't think
the ones that I starred are still there, but not all of them. Really sorry, connection was entirely gone. Basically,
it's okay. It happens. It happens to all of us.
A second.
I don't think I can add those to the chat, to the stream, the comments.
Thanks for reposting your questions, Robot and Captop. Now I remember those. So I'll just very briefly go back to some older questions, right? So just what about a PvP game inside the dungeon? That's a really cool idea. Would really love to have some PvP stuff in there. Question is how easy that's to realize, right? So maybe we can come up with whatever scheme we like. Is rock paper scissors? That's PvP. Is that enough, or would there have to be something more advanced? So I'm really curious about this. Really, Robot was asking what if the new set is just slightly worse than the sets 4 and 5. So yeah, we kind of always done that, right? So we made them slightly worse every single set. Now with Cooks, I agree. Like I said, that we might have gone too far in terms of just keeping or making them equal, and that ended up being too weak because we were too afraid of making them too strong. So there was another question by, okay, I can see that. So I can show it. Captop was asking maybe include Dungeon Mastery gear NFTs in the Dungeon Worlds game. When will that be will that be realized? That would increase demand for gear. So with Dungeon Worlds, we have dedicated plans that I think Las Vegas 8 was also asking whether it will be launched before the end of the year. That's definitely the plan. And we also had the idea of including the gear NFTs in Dungeon Worlds. Yes. Wombat Warriors. Will Wombat Warriors have a home soon? Maybe for guilds to use in battle. So Wombat Warriors were never supposed to be a real thing, right? So that was just a giveaway kind of thing. But it seems like the expectations have been way higher when it comes to Wombat Warriors. So originally we thought, okay, if that ever becomes a thing, we may consider creating some kind of a PvP beat 'em up game of this. But so that's why we also made them Mortal Kombat like, right? And they were like the original name was Mortal Wombat, right? And then for copyright reasons, we ended up changing this to Wombat Warriors and changing the names and so on. And then we did think about when there is a clan raid feature, we thought about them being kind of generals or becoming something like generals or so. I don't want to tell you to go buy Wombat Warriors right now because that's definitely going to be happening. That's not what I'm saying. It is a thought that we had, but there could be other ways of doing this. But that's precisely why we made them senseis in Dungeon World's training, because we wanted to give them utility beyond what we had promised. And what we had promised, at least in our world, was nothing really. Right? So, like with some other NFTs that we found out, they don't really have a use.
Yeah. I'm just laughing because I have sent so many Wombat Warriors since I'm here on the company. So many on the events. Like every week I've sent, I don't know, I mean, I've sent thousands of Wombat Warriors since I'm on the company. So, I mean, we could have like, we could even make like a poker game, you know, and they have the Wombat Warriors as coins to play the poker game. I mean, so many people would participate because so many people in the community have Wombat Warriors. You know, some game that involves using the Wombat Warriors to participate. I mean, that would be a good idea.
There's this NFT game by Ultra Rare coming out. Maybe there. But I would really like to see something as well. I would definitely, if anyone wants to build a simple, can be very simple, a simple game with that uses Wombat Warriors. If anyone wants to do that, I will definitely sponsor this with a bunch of Wombat tokens, even from my personal stash.
Yeah. Just be aware that you cannot participate with Wombat Warriors of ourselves because we are running very low of common Wombat Warriors. Soon I'm starting to give out some other prizes on the events because we are running out of Wombat Warriors. So people have them all. The community has all the Wombat Warriors.
Hang on, I think we still have a bunch. Let me check. I think we still have a bunch.
I mean, on the Wombat Perma 1, we have some rare, you know, but common ones, we have like 200 or something, I think. 200, 100.
I mean, we don't have any mythics because these were the ones that were claimed first, right?
Yeah, I gave some legendary also, but we still have some legendary and the epic ones. Yeah, but the common and legendary are pretty.
We still have some on one play items, so there's still more. We still have mythics actually.
We have mythics.
We still have mythics,
but not on Wombat Perma 1. Not on
No.
Ah, yeah, somewhere else, sure.
Yeah. So we still have 10,000 in the back burner. And that includes a bunch of mythics as well. So Robot, partner portal for staking Wombat as a creator and boosting their collections plus Dungeon World should be focused. These would create real new use cases for the Wombat token. I guess you mean a Wombat token, maybe exclusive Wombat merge as well. Just my 2 cents. The partner portal that after the so maybe we again I think we should be running votes on what should be the priority next up, right? for the roadmap for Dungeon Master specifically, because for us it's always super hard to prioritize this, for instance, versus clan buildings, clan features, chat, whatever, right? And I would feel better. It would be easier for me to basically, or for us to basically justify decisions, right? If there's a vote on this, then the community wanted it like that. So I would really like to know whether we should prioritize, let's say, clan features, PvP or clan versus clan, and new buildings and whatnot over the partner portal or the creator portal, as we were calling it, right? So to me, it's always tough because that is like the creator portal is a definite thing that would help the hygiene in the NFTs and the staking and so on, right? And it may actually drive some demand for Wombat tokens, but at the same time, more gameplay is cool. Sorry, I have a lot of flies here.
I mean, it's really hard. People give us so many great suggestions, but I mean, we have a great team, but not like we don't have 200 people. If we had, we would for sure like do everything, you know. But we need to prioritize, right? Some of the ideas first, and some people like it, some people don't like it.
So Captop's question: what's your opinion on the Wax crypto project? Well, I guess the Wax blockchain and the ecosystem. With it having the lowest gas fees, I thought it might have some more uses in the mainstream market. The problem is that the technicalities of gas and whatever, they don't mean that there's an adoption for it or that there's a lot of people building on it and so on, right? So there's been this joke, and it's not me having said that, but some people have been saying that whatever Wax project, it's always the same few thousand people playing it, using it, building it, buying it, whatever. Basically meaning the Wax community is small, it's just a few thousand people, and whatever you want to build, you will be building this for the few thousand people that are already using Wax, right? Minus the bots or whatever. And I think there is at least something to it, because there are very few people coming from the outside actually looking at Wax and thinking, okay, this is great. And the problem is not that the tech. The problem is not the tech. The problem is not that the tech is good or bad or whatever. The problem is that what kind of content is on there, so which games are building, and whether these have exposure in kind of the mainstream, either the mainstream or in the Web3 crypto world, right? So if there's no big, let's say, KOLs talking about Wax a lot and emphasizing content on Wax, right? And that in return kind of means that if there isn't enough money to be made within the Wax ecosystem for businesses and investors and so on, then there will be fewer people building and fewer people investing in things that are being built on Wax and so on, right? So that is a major issue, right? And it is a drawback from a builder's perspective. It is a drawback to build on Wax or on EOS or Telos or whatever, because if they build on Ethereum or on Polygon or on immutable zk-EVM or whatever, it's easy for them to migrate from one EVM to another. If they build on Wax and they want to migrate to Polygon, that's much harder, right? I mean, same is true for Solana, but Solana have managed to build that ecosystem of a large ecosystem of holders, but also they had investors, large scale investors, actually investing not only in let's say A16Z and Reason Horowitz, right? One of the largest VCs in the world. They've invested in Solana, but they also invested in a lot of the ecosystem around Solana. They also invested in Phantom. They invested in content on Solana and so on, right? So they were concerned about building an ecosystem on Solana at the same time. And that basically drives a lot of people and a lot of attention into it. And that's what we're lacking on Wax. And that's got nothing to do with the tech, right? It doesn't matter whether it's cheap or expensive or fast or slow or whatever to transact on the network. And that's sad to a certain extent. But it's going to be incredibly hard for quote unquote a legacy blockchain to actually come back and thrive, right? Even in a bull market, it's going to be hard because there's so many opportunities, so many other networks. And the most important thing to me when it comes to an ecosystem or a blockchain is that there's a lot of people who have made money on that network, right? And with Ethereum, if you bought ETH at $50 or at $100 back in 2017, right, you have made so much money that now everything on the network is cheap. So even if you buy a Bored Ape at 50 ETH or whatever, right, that feels not so expensive because your ETH was just $50. But on Wax, for instance, there is nobody who has made 10x with their Wax tokens, right? I don't think there's anybody. We're very close to the all-time low, right? So we might have bought in the ICO or prior to that or an OTC or whatever, but there's probably hardly anyone who has made a 5x or a 10x on the current, like from the current price, right? And that means that everything is expensive because you, in order to buy anything on Wax, you now need to convert fiat to Wax, right? So there's much less money spent, so there's much fewer businesses, so there's much fewer investors investing in that, which means much less content. So I think that's a flywheel that needs to be spun up, and I think there's ways of doing this, but that needs a lot of effort and a lot of support from a lot of people. And I would love seeing this, right? I would love seeing this. It would be great, but it's tough. There's a lot of competition, that's for sure. And I mean, people asking about Ton earlier, right? Compare Ton to Wax right now. If you were a new project building a new thing, not knowing about Wax in the community and Ton in the community, and you just look at the facts, you would have a hard time convincing yourself to build on Wax versus Ton, I would assume.
By the way, congrats to Ivanov and to Las Vegas Ape for claiming our streamer NFT. It's 60k each. It's 60k, so it's a lot. So congrats for choosing it, because they can choose that or the season pass, and they choose the NFT I personally worked on. So thank you.
Congrats to you, then. By the way, I also wanted to say thank you earlier to Atlas Drawers, who has not only resubbed for 20 straight months, but also gifted a sub to LexiLex. And thanks for Nostalgia and Devils for your cheers. It's nice. Thank you.
20 months.
All right, let's. So many questions to catch up with, and we're already almost 2 hours in, and we haven't played any Twitchy times. For the PvP, I can suggest you use the Wombat Warriors and maybe use the concept in the Pixelverse battle with other players. You bet some tokens, in-game tokens, and fight with other players. You can level up your warriors with points, etc., and make them stronger. It doesn't have to be real NFTs, maybe. Okay, definitely we'll look at that. Now, how we prioritize this, we'll have to see, but sounds simple enough, your village people. Today, Atomic Hub is in the top 18 volume on DApp This seems to be without taking into account the ZK-EVM network volume yet. Is that because of Funkomania? When will the volume of ZK-EVM also be reflected in DApp so that it puts us in a better position by trading volume? On the other hand, congratulations, because since the acquisition of Atomic Hub, I've never seen that daily volume yet. Thank you. Interesting. because so first of all, yes, we have submitted. We have submitted for IMX CKEVM, but we're not listed, so we'll have to check up on this because we, of course, want to have that everywhere. But the volume, I'm not sure entirely, but I could imagine that this was Super Farmer. And I don't know what's been going on with this, but there's of Super Farmer NFTs, and I haven't followed this entirely, but I think that's what caused a lot of volume. Haven't seen anything related to Funko really. Poker with fragments. That's nice. Yeah, right. Matcha Twitcher. Scary Litmus. Hope it's not that scary, but yeah. There is a compensation mechanism for block producers where when the wax price drops, they get compensated with more wax to keep it equal, so that there is a kind of steady monthly income in dollars. Obviously, when the token price falls a lot, then this gets worse. So that can be scary. Why don't you talk to Introverse to integrate the Warriors into the NFT World Cup thingy? No more Mythic Warriors to redeem. We haven't had Mythic Warriors to redeem in a while.
Yeah, I've taken them out for a while already. You guys got them all. Wow. Did I just hear a chicken?
Yeah. We are in a place now where there's a lot of people with chickens and roosters.
It's time to wake up, Adrian.
It's like the roosters, they actually go off at 4:30 in the morning at like the first glance of dawn. It's crazy.
Maybe our neighbor wake up at this time, so the rooster is already, he only sings at this time. Like,
Yeah.
it's time to wake up.
So D-Nights is proposing an MMORPG in NFTs for equipment, Wombat tokens as currency, land buildings, etc. Could be pretty cool. Who wants to make this? Oh, look, Daniel Angel has redeemed Epic NFTs and didn't get them yet. Do you feel the reputation of EOS is affecting Wax? Because I'm sure EOS had a bad reputation. Yes, I think they're connected because it's the same technology in the end, right? And I don't want, because I really like Wax, but I've had investors literally turning me down saying, we don't invest in anything Wax, right? And they didn't elaborate on this, and that's not great, right? But it's, I mean, I don't think that reputation is enough by itself. It's literally kind of, VCs, for instance, they wouldn't care about reputation as much as they care about profit, right? So if there is profit to be made and large businesses to be built, then they wouldn't mind. But that's a prerequisite, right? So if the token price just keeps going down, that means that it's going to be less money to be spent. So I would say let's just stop selling, everyone. It goes for the Wombat token as well. Let's just stop selling. Nobody sells any Wax or Wombat, and then everyone just keeps buying because you need them, and then goes up, price go up. It's like the WWE using NFTs to gain entrance to events. Why is this not a wax NFT? I think it's Ethereum, which has higher gas price. This most WWE more. This must cost the WWE more. Yeah, but they think that Ethereum NFTs are more accessible still, right? And that people who want to gain entrance, they don't mind the gas price or the value that they are creating with those tickets, for instance, is bigger than the gas price that they have to pay for it, right? So, for instance, these kinds of things. So the technology and the gas cost doesn't really matter there. You don't see wax or EOS people on Twitter. They seem to be anti-social. And how do you onboard the Web2 folks when you're not social? I think there are a lot of people, wax people on Twitter, for instance, and also EOS people. It's just that they don't have that many followers, right? And they're long a lot of time and good strategy and a lot of stamina to actually build a large following. And the content or the things that you talk about need to be interesting, right? So it kind of is a little bit of a self-fulfilling prophecy here. But yeah, it would be great if we had more people talk about Wax, EOS, Wombat on Twitter. Choco Crypto. To be honest, there is some great work being done at Atomic Hub. Even Binance has included him in their, or the Atomic Hub in their NFT marketplace suggestion list, which has or may give more exposure in addition to the work it's doing behind the scenes. Congratulations to the Spielworks team. Thanks, Choco Crypto. Thanks a lot. All right. Yeah. In today's world, it's numbers that matter, not the quality of the products. This is why most projects are doing well. Antelope keeps improving quality, but doesn't do anything about increasing numbers. Only devs care about all the blockchain jargons. The customers just want to see numbers. If I see 1,000 people doing something shit, I'd rather go there than stay in a play with quality and 5 people. That's the world we're living right now. That's totally correct, right? You're totally right with that, you village people. It's about, and I mean, it's understandable, right? So if everyone jumps on this one thing, then you want to be on that thing as well because it feels just more relevant, right? But yeah, that's the world we live in. But I would say, because there aren't that many questions open here right now, we could run a round of Twitchy Tides, shall we? By the way, I think Twitchy Tides, they do an amazing job in creating new things. And it's on Wax, right? So I think if we can get streamers outside of the Wax space to actually play Twitchy Tides, right? This is something that can drive a lot of attention, right?
I've been practicing during my vacation. I've been practicing to win the next Twitchy Tides, so I'm ready. I've waited for this moment my whole life. So
if I win, guys, you need good fish. That's the thing.
I've catch good fish where I was. There was a lot of fishes, so I have a great fish to play with. And if I win, I'm going to give 15 extra NFTs from our account. So
you should be handing them out from your account, not from company can't make promises like that. It's on you.
I don't have enough NFTs to give out. That's a problem because I give them out. I give every NFT out.
Is
All
that
the
your
Wombat Warriors.
problem, or is that the community's problem? Don't
Adrian,
make your
don't put me
problems
on
the problems of
difficult
other people.
don't put me on difficult situations, Adrian. Or the community will start asking me to participate myself with my NFTs. Let me see. Where am I? Wombat.
Yeah, so if you want to participate, anyone in I think that only works on Twitch, right? Because now we're also streaming on Twitter, or some people call this X. Um, I think that only works on Twitch
Yeah,
just
it
yet.
only works on Twitch. Yeah, it only works on Twitch.
That's also why it's called Twitchy Tides and not Xy Tides.
Yes, exactly.
So type !! wombat. Ideally include your. Oh no, that's changed right now. Now you have to have a
Adrian, you need to do
fish
something
register.
to make this work. You
What do I
need
need
to
to do?
you need to get close to the mic and say, "It's giveaway time, guys." Because some people are just listening to the stream, and they need to understand we are doing a giveaway, so that they stop what they are doing, they grab their keyboards and start participating. So people are just watching.
It's giveaway time.
Exactly, and then you'll see the
I
numbers increasing.
I don't know. I don't know how that happened, but I've been getting more and more beatbox videos in my kind of YouTube and Instagram timeline and so on. And I really want to learn how to do the inward bass. So if I ever get the time, I will practice some beatboxing, because the stuff there. I mean, back in the day, if anyone remembers Roselle, right? Everyone was just like, okay, that's the best beatboxer in the world and stuff. But the things that beatboxers do nowadays, this is so next level.
Yeah.
It's amazing, and I'm not a beatbox guy. Like, I haven't been watching this or following the scene for like 20 years or so. But yeah, four elements exactly.
I mean,
Um,
I think everyone
but
would like to know how to do beatbox. It's pretty cool.
but it's learnable, right? All the people who are good at it have learned how to do that, right? And it's like
I don't
there's
know.
this.
Can anyone do it? I mean, don't you actually need to have some, I know, to have your throat equipped to do some of the sounds, Like some people cannot draw, for example. You can train drawing, but you will never be as good as someone who has a natural talent, for example. That's my opinion, at least. For example,
Yeah,
people love
but
to
you
draw, but they never draw well. And I have friends that just do it really easily, for example.
sure, but through practice, and I mean, obviously, some of the like really good beatboxers now, they've started at a younger age, right? So also your physiology is still able to adapt to it and like grow with it, right? So maybe I can't learn it at my super old age anymore, but I still would like to give it a shot, because it's just like the water drop and the inward bass and some of these things. They're just so cool.
I think we will like to hear you trying to do beatbox. We could do just a like beatbox stream, Adrian's beatbox stream. Like for 10 minutes.
How I try and learn beatboxing.
I don't know if people want to hear you try learning. I don't know about that. I don't know if they
No,
if they would enjoy
but
that.
the chat hasn't been very reactive to this. Nobody wants to see me or hear me trying to beatbox, so that's okay.
Chat.
Maybe
If you
on
want
maybe on
to,
the
if you want to hear Adrian do beatbox, write 1 on the chat. Number 1 on the chat. If you want Adrian to do beatbox on stream, write number 1 on the chat.
yeah, maybe on the next 24-hour stream. But if I manage to do something really cool, we could really use that as the sound to play at the end of the Dungeon Master run.
How about if you start each stream with beatbox and end with beatbox? You know, like the sound, some special sound, like if you sing Wombat with beatbox, you know, you say Wombat like in a beatbox voice. I mean, that would be great, you know.
Yeah.
But you can start each stream like that, so you can practice each stream.
Okay.
Cool.
Captop wants me to let me clear my throat. So cool. Okay. All right. We have 75 people. I think that's a pretty good number.
Yeah.
So let's go to some. I think normal has been going pretty okay the last few times. So we'll keep it at that, I believe. It's not going to be the super shortest. But okay, let's get this going, right? And
I'm ready.
there we are.
Where am I?
So you are playing.
I'm playing with Wombat Gamers account.
You're playing with the Wombat Gamers account.
Yeah, I'm logged on the Wombat Gamers. Let me see where I am.
You're probably gone already.
Nah, that's not possible. Wow, so many fishes.
Yeah, that's normal is fairly slow, right?
Yeah.
But also every time we play this, there's new skins, new fish.
Yeah, there are some. I don't know what to call it in English. Piranhas. How do you call it in English?
Piranhas, yeah.
Piranhas. It's the same, right? Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
There's a really cool one. It's Going Tonto. It's great. It's a really cool stream. Really cool skin.
Yeah, really can just advertise this. Oh, look, you're under RIP up there. So I think you were the third one to, or one of the first ones to perish at least.
No, I can't believe it. I trained all my vacation for this moment.
Yeah, but I mean that's different here, right? Because some skins can actually do special moves, so that's different here.
Oh, they can. Okay.
Mm.
I only played it one time on stream, just one time.
They can fart and stuff like that.
Oh yeah. I saw that. The sound, yeah, paired it with sound, and I didn't really like the sound of the farting. Oh, that's Spider-Man skins, or it's something else?
It's obviously Spider-Man.
Okay.
Officially, I believe, because I'm curious about the copyright there. Okay, 3 more. 3 left. 2 left. SDME and team. So who can win this? We forgot to say that the top 5 players will be getting a box. So congrats to NF Team, SDME, 2 left hands, Daniel Engel, and Gucci Gaming. Congrats. So I'll drop that to Bernardo so he can deliver the NFTs together with redemptions.
Damn. I'm disappointed.
Of yourself?
Of my fish.
Yeah, it's always the others.
It's a fish. It's a fish fault. It's a fish's fault.
All right. So GG's here.
Yeah, GG's.
To those 5 people. I have to pull this up because it makes me laugh at least. So farting underwater in the pool is oddly satisfying.
Yes, it's for those videos with oddly satisfying stuff, those strange videos.
It's just that you can't repeat that. But yeah, these satisfying things like these machines producing stuff and so on, right?
Yes.
Like ice cream or whatever. That's really cool. Okay, I think we're basically at the end of this stream. Hang on a sec. Okay, no, that's all good. So we're left with Wombat crashed. Is that the other Wombat? So the big question we need to ask is, who are we rating today?
We have Quadril Sart, which is streaming himself naked on top of a bunch of class, as he promised.
So can't help it. We
He
said
said
we
he would,
would.
so we are all expecting it now. You need to read him, and you need to tell him to do it now. He said he had a camera, he said he had a rope, he had everything, so he's ready, I guess.
But it does say alluvium. You know that in the
Oh,
in the
oh,
topic.
oh! So it's clickbait. It's clickbait. It's clickbait.
So we have Quadrell's art, or we have 5 Minute Master. So who is it? Who
Up
do you
to
want?
you. Up to the chat. Chat, what they want.
Yeah, of course. I'm not asking you. I'm asking the chat.
I thought that was important for a minute, Adrian.
I would never ask
Double
you.
disappointment after the fish. 5 minutes, says one, rate 5 minutes.
It says good vibes.
Of coffee and conversation and giveaways. Well, we all love giveaways. Well, everyone is asking for 5 minutes.
Hey, I think 5 Minute Masters is playing the Doctor Who game.
Doctor Who game. See.
Okay, then we're rating 5 Minute Masters. All right, then have fun. It does say good vibes and giveaways. So that's cool. Then thanks a lot for coming on, and thanks, Mad Bernardo, for coming on and spending 2 hours plus here with us. And have fun with 5 Minute Masters. See you later this week or next week.
Yeah. See you on Discord, guys. Bye bye.
Thank you. Bye bye. And we're rating now. Obviously, that doesn't work on Twitter either.
I can do it if you want. It's done, I think, right?